Hi, everyone. I'm Sophia. Thanks so much for joining me. I am so excited to be doing this. I haven't done these in a while, so it's always nice to get back into it. I was doing So Zoom In, so if you followed me on my channel there, thank you. I look forward to meeting and talking with Chad Michael Collins. Now, he is part of the movie The Wrecker. I'm so excited about The Wrecker because I'm happy to say I was one of the screenwriters for that project, which is so exciting. It's a high-octane action movie, which is going to be in theaters October 31st. So I'm very, very excited about that. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. You're in New York, right?
Atlanta. I just relocated to Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah.
Oh, smart
Mhm.
move, man. That's where all the work is being, right?
Yeah, there's just as much work here or pretty close to it as LA, but there's just a whole lot less actors and a whole lot of less competition, and it's a little bit cheaper than LA. I wouldn't say it's overwhelmingly cheaper, but it's definitely a better fit.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure you're going to be working like crazy.
I hope
Um,
so, yeah.
so I'm so excited because you play Bobby Minetti in The Wrecker, which is coming out October 31st in theaters. Yay, so excited. And you look absolutely amazing in that movie. Holy moly, just the clips I've seen, you look great. Now, how did you come about getting the part? How did this whole thing come to be for you?
Uh Thank you. Yeah, in the record I play Bobby Minetti, the troublemaker, kind of drug-addled and in over his head brother to Nico Foster's Tony Minetti, and it was a lot of fun. I'm between Call of Duty and the sniper movies and other action films that I do. It's a lot of hero roles, which I love, and I think are fantastic. But Bobby is kind of out there, and we kind of purposely made him a little bit wackier, a little bit more unhinged, a little more reckless to kind of suit his character. And I think that. His outfits reflect his absolutely chaotic energy. It's just like the wildest club shirts and pants and everything that go along with his attitude and his energy. And Bobby Minetti, he gets in trouble. He gets Tony in trouble and put in bad spot. And then yeah, you'll have to watch and see if you can turn it around and make good.
Well, did you have fun playing it? Because you look like you're having a blast.
I did, and Art Camacho, our wonderful director, legendary martial artist that he is, directed this action film, and he really wanted me to lean into the wildness, the zaniness, the wackiness of Bobby. So it was really fun to kind of find those pieces and explore with the scene partners of where they would come out and how. And he gave me some action for Bobby to chew on. I mean, if you got a tough guy brother, I'm sure you picked up some street smarts and some street tough along the way.
Now, you're a martial artist yourself, right? When did you start learning martial arts, and how did you incorporate that in your career as an actor?
I'm not a martial artist
Oh,
at all. I would say I'm proficient, novice level at best in terms of I used to do a lot of boxing, kickboxing, not a lot of stuff that with rings. I certainly never fought for a purse at any point, but knew my way around enough to be able to just master the basics, and that can kind of take you far with the footwork and everything else too. But I've got no belts, especially no black belts, unless we're talking about video games and fighting games in terms of like Street Fighter 2 and stuff like that. But yeah, just knowing my way around, the sports fields, the basketball courts, picking up some fundamentals of boxing and kickboxing and a little bit of MMA over the years. I usually find that gets me by on the set of an action movie.
so what is it like when you have to pretend to fight? Because you have some pretty fierce fights in the movie. What is that like?
Yeah, yeah, and not to spoil anything, but I mean, Bobby does give some, but he gets a lot more, it feels like. So he definitely didn't give as good as he got. But Bobby got in trouble, and they kind of rough him up and make him pay. I was actually posted something on social media recently where action movies are way fun. Stunt choreography is so rewarding. It's very challenging. It's very tiring. But the stunt actors are there to make you look good, and it's an absolute pleasure to work with them. But it's a lot easier to throw the hero punches than it is to take the bad guy hits. and taking the hits and selling the hits, whether it's gunfire or whether it's getting hit in the face over and over again, is selling the pain of that sort of stuff is a little bit more challenging than just being the guy swinging and always connected and knocking guys out. So I get to do a little bit of both in this movie, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, first of all, you looked absolutely amazing in the sniper movies. You do have that hero look, and that's like so cool. I love action movies. I do. So I was like excited to know that you're part of the record. What is the difference for you as an actor learning lines versus choreography?
The difference in terms of prepping, learning lines versus a stunt choreography. Learning lines is really fun. You can kind of play detective, and when you work with a great collaborative director like Art Camacho, he'll let you kind of tease out the shades of gray, and tease out some subtext, maybe even tweak some dialogue here as it works, as it fits, as the situation requires, and just really lean into the kind of the arc of the character. And I think we pulled some really good stuff out of Bobby. There's a pivotal scene in the movie where the brothers kind of have a heart to heart, where Bobby just kind of dumps all the stuff he's been holding on to, and the raw deal he got in life on his brother, and you know, kind of to make excuses, kind of to make amends, kind of to make an apology, kind of to give his brother a middle finger. And it was a whole lot of, it was like 3 4 pages, and it was really really fun to explore kind of the underbelly of this character and kind of see what came out. The stunt choreography is, us not being actual experts, it's got to be a little bit more by the book, because if you screw up a line, you can just do another take. If you screw up a punch, someone could lose a tooth. So it's a little more. You kind of got to know the choreography, the ins and outs, and perfect that dance as much as you do coming in. But to Art threw me into some mixes. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna actually have you fight two guys here," and it was not scripted, it was not choreographed, but he saw that I could probably pick it up fast and handle it, and so there's a couple extra fights that he threw in there for Bobby to have, which are really fun and really creative. One involved a frying pan. No spoilers, so you'll have to check it to see.
That sounds so awesome. All right, so what would you say is the major difference in something like The Wrecker versus Sniper or your other action movies where you are more of the hero? Would you say there is a big difference, or was it something that was just like an easy transition to get into?
Yeah, I think doing Brandon Beckett in the sniper movies for Sony Pictures, military through and through, and a lot of that's gunplay, although we do get in a lot of the hand-to-hand stuff. But I think Bobby in The Wrecker could not be more of an opposite type of character. Troubled past, bad decisions, falls in with the wrong crowd. He's kind of got to fight his way out of these messes, gets other people dragged down into it. Whereas in a sniper movie, we're usually saving people from the bad guys. Bobby kind of starts out as one of these questionable characters that is kind of forced to save himself and to undo the mess that he did. So it was a very night and day juxtaposition between playing Brandon Beckett and Bobby in the Wrecker. But both action movies, and this one was more kind of a revenge movie when you look at the circumstances and events that happened in the movie. And it was a lot of fun. And, in no sniper movie have we ever had an absolutely tricked out war machine, Mad Max style tow truck busting into enemy compounds. So that was a first experience for me.
Oh, that's gonna be fun to
Yeah.
watch. All right, so so many young people want, they talk about wanting to be an actor, break into the business, especially since everything's changing so fast right now. What kind of advice would you give to anyone wanting to get into the business?
Um, I'm a big fan in terms of advice. It's really, when I talk to people who want advice about acting, it's good for me to understand where they're coming from and their why. And I think that's just a generally good advice for anyone, is to find your why. If you got a really strong why, and it's kind of from your heart and your head, and it's intrinsically motivated and developed, you'll probably persevere and stay on the path. But if you're chasing things outside of yourself, you're probably not going to last long. So before I even try to dispense advice, which I'm sure much more people are qualified to give advice than I am, but I try to find out what perspective they're coming from, because that kind of indicates whether they got what it takes. And I'm talking even before classes and talent and whatever else. That's a whole different set of requirements. But if they're in it for the right reasons, and if they are, then I try to be as helpful as possible. I'm a big fan of people being a star where they are. I mean, I just moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I was in LA for a long time, but I've got actors up in Canada who start to do really well, and then they immediately want to hitch a ride to LA and start their career there. And I'm like, you're cleaning up in a Toronto or a Vancouver. Like, stay there as long as you can. And if you do ever stick something so significant that it's undeniable, then, throw your hat in the ring, come down to LA and mix it up with 1,000 times the competition. So, but until then, be bankable, be a star where you are, work as much as you possibly can in your home market or your home state. And then, yeah, when you got some momentum and some credits rolling for you, then maybe you want to dip your toe and go where the real competition is and the sharks are.
Sharks is definitely right. So, what was your why? What got you into this crazy, incredible career?
Yeah, I developed my why as an actor, because I was, and I'm blessed, but I was just kind of rotting away in an office job. And it was linked to the entertainment industry, but it wasn't in the action. And I just kind of had this pull, and I took an acting class on a lark through some suggestions from some people that I knew in the industry back in Los Angeles a long time ago. Never intended to act a day in my life. When I moved to LA, I started working as a publicist and later kind of a talent manager. So I was learning the business and meeting people in the business all the while. But it's just a grind, and having to go 9 to 7 and go 5 days a week and beautiful Los Angeles days, and you're sitting there wasting away under these fluorescent lights and can't leave, and sometimes you're working weekends, whatever the is required of your clients. And so for me, acting was something that I pursued on the side, and I didn't have the pressure of trying to force the outcomes. I was able to just gradually take class and gradually enjoy it, treat it like a fun hobby if there was any traction. I think that was it. It was playing pretend, and I think that playing pretend for a living and getting to learn different things and about different people and travel different places. For me, it's always been about kind of want to live out of my imagination and creativity more, and then just really understanding and mastering the business there. But I call myself a pretend player because it's still a lot of pinch me moments that I get to really just try these awesome characters on for size, and not be a hero in real life, but get to play one on TV is just such a blessing, and it just kind of keeps you grateful and humble and childlike.
Oh, that's so awesome. And what's so great is you have such a great look. I have to say that. I mean, I would cast you in a heartbeat. You just you look great on screen. Is this
Thank you.
something that you plan on doing for the rest of your life, or do you see like an ending point for you as an actor? Or do you see
Yeah, I mean, as an actor, I gotta say it's been probably 15, 20 years since I took a first acting class. It's probably been at least 8 to 10 years since I've been doing nothing but this. Very blessed to do it full time. It's very, very rare to be able to make a living doing this. There's a lot of competition. There's so many talented people out there, but we got something right, and I want to keep it going as long as I possibly can. And if that's into the twilight years, I'd be more than ecstatic to keep it
Right.
going that long, because I mean, look, even if you age like fine milk like myself at this stage in the game, you need these actors to fill out certain television shows and
Right.
everything else too. So I'll keep it going as long as they'll have me. It's nice to be invited to the dance, and so long as the invites keep coming out, I'll keep at it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hey, like Clint Eastwood, he's still at it, right? And he's
Yeah,
literally so.
incredibly so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I see great things happening for you. I
Well, thank
really
you.
hope the record is a success because I would love to see you in the sequel. That would be so awesome. I'm projecting. I'm projecting. No, so
Yeah, well, I think that people are going to be really thrilled to watch the record. There's action all throughout this movie, and that's not counting the tricked out War Machine tow truck that makes an appearance. So I think people are going to be really pleasantly surprised, and it's very enjoyable all the way through. And not to mention the fantastic performances by Harvey Keitel. And we got some heavy hitters in this movie. Nico taking the lead here, but I thought Tyrese was amazing as a detective, and Harvey Keitel as the crime boss was incredible. Mina Suvar did a fantastic job. I had no scenes with her, but she did a great job watching. And then Danny Trejo is Danny Trejo. He's probably one of the most likable guys on this planet, and he does what he does so well in Tony's garage there. So it was a fantastic cast that they assembled for this movie, and I was just very humbled to be a small part of it.
Do you have a memorable moment from your experience shooting the film?
I think one of my most memorable moments was just I got to work with and shoot scenes with Harvey Keitel, who I'm a huge fan. Everything from Taxi Driver to Bad Lieutenant, and all the amazing work he's done his entire career. It was a very humbling experience to meet and work alongside such a legend. Same with Danny Trejo. I grew up on those Robert Rodriguez movies, Desperado with Antonio Banderas, and he always left such a indelible impression as his like very hatchet faced bad guy kind of stuff. And I've always been a fan of Danny Trejo. I didn't get to work with Tyrese in this one, but meeting and working with Nico for the first time was an absolute pleasure too. So it's such a great perk of the job. You come in sometimes and you're such fans of these legendary actors, and then you get an opportunity to work and you can learn so much from them. And I always never take that for granted, just to be a sponge around them and to be gracious, and if they want to share a kind word or a story or any advice that they kind of want to give you on the day is such a welcome gift.
Do they give you any advice or anything that kind of sticks out that you'd like to share?
No, not advice on this one. So, didn't screw up too bad that they didn't come after me. But yeah, it was more just about laughs and getting to share some nice moments and work out a scene with an actor that you're a huge fan of, which is it was a lot of fun, really, just to be around and watch them interact with everyone else and yourself included.
That's so awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you on the big screen. I really look forward to it. Well, Chad, thank you so very much. I didn't want to take up a whole lot of your time because I know you're really busy, but I look forward to seeing you on the red carpet, and I will definitely get a microphone in front of your face when we're there. I mean, wait, are you going to be in LA?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to swing the premieres. I know you guys are doing Las Vegas and
Okay.
LA, and it's such a bummer. I'm not going to be able to get back there for that, which really really bums me out. But I am. Al asked me to I think a publicist reached out to do some press, and I've got some great contacts over at a lot of the action sites, media sites. I know one of my guys is going to watch it this weekend right now, so I'll be doing as much press as possible. Even if I can't hang out with everyone in person, I would love to. It was such a great group, and to meet you, of course, you're going to be there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm so excited, and it's yeah, it's really exciting. So I have to ask, after you saw the movie, because you saw the final cut, right?
hmm
Okay, what was your first feeling when it was done? I mean, did it make you feel good? Do you feel like, whoa? I mean, what was that just feeling you had right after you saw it?
Yeah, I think after watching the end credits roll on the record, even for somebody that was in the movie, there was so much that I wasn't a part of and wasn't there on those days and didn't get to work with those actors because I had more of a B storyline. But it was just kind of like, all right, catch your breath, this thing's over. It really felt like from start to finish, it didn't really give you a break. It's just kind of head snapping, visceral action the entire way. It's a really great ride. And yeah, that's kind of the overall impression. Is I was very impressed that Art crammed so much action in there, and there was nice moments and nice beats and nice scenes between a lot of the characters, for the exposition and to drive the plot forward. But when there was a chance to get action in there, Art got it in there, and he did it in a really really fun way. So it was a hell of a ride.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you. Okay, I also have this. Is it the type of movie you'd want to see again, a second time? And you can be completely honest. I mean,
I
so
mean, I think so. There was so much stuff there to appreciate that. Going back on a second, and again, you had like so many legendary actors and fantastic actors in this that it's like I watch movies very differently as an actor. I really, not just looking for the technical stuff that a DP and a director kind of puts together, and the way that they line up their shots, but I also, when I watch an actor, I just watch them so differently. And a lot of the stuff would fly over a non-actor's head, but I can cultivate such an appreciation for so many of the intentional things that they do to make the performance look natural or to stand out in a particular way. And with Harvey Keitel and Mina and Tyrese and Danny Trejo, to go back and watch it again and just pick up on some subtleties that I perhaps missed the first time. I think that'd be a little acting masterclass in itself on this movie.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I know you are brilliant too. So
Oh, thank you.
I'm very excited that you're in this movie. So thank you so much, Chad, for your time. I greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you on the big screen. And hopefully there's going to be a sequel. So I can see you in the sequel
I
too.
hope so. So long as I didn't trash the tow truck, right? Let's get a new sequel.
Well,
Yeah.
the script's already written, by the way.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's no tow truck. That's fine. We're vigilantes for hire. Yeah, Nico had hinted that he really was eager to get this one across
Yeah.
the finish line to see about the possibility of another one. And I mean, look, it's nice to be a good guy in a lot of action movies because good guys tend to survive. Rip Harvey, rip. Uh,
Bobby's in the
you
sequel.
know.
Bobby is in the sequel.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah,
kind.
I
Yeah.
know.
Hopefully he's got his crap together and starts. It doesn't start any more wars on accident.
Anyway, thank you so much, Chad. I greatly
Oh, what a pleasure.
and I look
Total
forward
pleasure.
hopefully meeting you in person one of these days, but I know
Yeah.
seeing you on big screen is going to be amazing. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I plan on trying to find a local theater here to check it out on the big screen. It deserves that kind of a treatment. So I'll let everybody know and hopefully take some nice video
Oh,
of when I can do it, at least with the movie poster outside.
right. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much. You take
Okay. Thank you, Sophia.